Hey guys, Lady Lee here from Lady Lee's Home, and in this video we are going to make a delicious savory sweet potato pies. They're great for breakfast or you know events or just for lunch or anything really. I started by putting the bacon in the oven, 425 for I think something like 30 minutes. That was thick cut strips of bacon. You can use different types of meat for this dish, or you can also leave the meat out and make it vegetarian. You can use breakfast sausage meat, ground beef, even chicken, really any type of meat that you want to, or again, you can leave the meat out and just make it with vegetables. These are purple sweet potatoes that we grew on the farm, and I will link in the description below the videos of growing and harvesting them. Purple sweet potatoes are really an amazing crop, very good storage crop if survival and food storage is something you're interested in, and if you're a homesteader and growing your own food. They are dense and not as sweet as the regular orange sweet potatoes. So somewhere between a regular potato and a sweet potato. They need long summers, but once you have that, they are super easy to grow. And again, I will link information in the description below. There's a lot of information on the blog about purple sweet potatoes. You can definitely use regular orange sweet potatoes for this dish. I'm just using purple because first, they're cool, they're gorgeous, and they're tasty, and that's just what I grow on the farm. So we need about 4 cups of diced sweet potatoes. We want to dice them not too small, but also not too big so they can cook pretty fast. The next thing we're going to do while the bacon is in the oven is dice 1 medium red onion. And I don't know if you know the trick, but the fumes of the onion, they make my eyes so teary and burning, and I hate that thing. I did hear that there are kitchen glasses kind of thing that you can put for onions, and I definitely have those on my list, and I definitely want to get those. But for now, if you don't have those, you can just light a candle and put it next to where you're dicing the onion, and the fire from the candle will burn the fumes and less gets to your eyes. So that's the trick that I'm using right now, and that's why I have a candle on my cutting board. Okay, the bacon is ready. So we'll take it out of the oven and let it cool for just a couple minutes. Then place a paper towel on a plate and transfer the bacon into the plate so it doesn't sit in its own oil anymore. We're just gonna let it cool on the plate while we do the rest for these pies, and later we'll crumble it. Next, we're going to peel and dice a couple of cloves of garlic. prep work is done, and now it's time to start cooking everything. So we melt about 3 tablespoons of butter in a pan, and then add the diced onion, and we're going to give it a few minutes to fry and soften. Next, add the diced garlic, and again we're going to give it a good stir here with the onions, and we're going to give it a couple minutes to fry. You'll notice that it starts to get fragrant, and that's all the garlic needs. It does not need more than a couple of minutes. And we're moving on to adding the potatoes. Just kind of coat them with the butter and the onion and garlic, and then we're going to add black pepper, about a teaspoon or so. All the measurements, the exact measurements, are on the blog, and I will link to the recipe. You can print it out. It's on the blog with a step-by-step picture tutorial. So we did black pepper, and now some salt, and lastly a little bit of thyme, about a teaspoon or so. Salt and pepper to taste, and about a teaspoon or so of thyme. Give this a good stir and let it cook, stirring frequently for probably 5 to 7 minutes. The potatoes do not need to be softened all the way because we're still going to stick all of this in the oven, but just give them about 5 to 7 minutes. And next we're going to make the milk and egg mixture here. Half a cup of milk and half a cup of cream. Then we add to that 2 eggs, and we stir until it's all smooth. If you choose to use bacon, then we're going to have to crumble it into little pieces so it's easy to layer it on top of the potatoes. Now it's time to put this whole thing together. I am using mini pie crusts. I made these for a party that we had, and having it in mini pies was a really fun way to serve it. You can definitely go ahead and make it into like a big breakfast pie if that works better. But if you are using the mini crusts, then just use a muffin pan and take those little mini pie doughs and basically press them into the pan. If it's a non-stick pan, you don't need to spray it or butter it or anything. There is enough oil and shortening or butter or whatever it is in the dough, so they won't stick. You just pretty much press it into the muffin pan, and this is what we're going to put the potato and the bacon and everything in. We're adding about a tablespoon or so of the purple sweet potatoes. On top of that, we're going to add the bacon and then fill the pies with the milk mixture before we top everything with some cheese and stick it in the oven. We are baking these pies in a preheated 425 degrees oven for about 15 minutes or until the cheese is melted and golden. Once they're ready, just take the pan out, put it on the counter and let it cool for a few minutes. Place a cooling rack right next to your pan and then take a butter knife and insert it around and under each pie. Take it out and put it on the cooling rack to cool for just a few minutes. I find that it's better to serve these pies when they're still hot, right out of the oven, or after a few minutes of cooling. The cheese is still melted at this stage, and what else do you really need for breakfast aside from potatoes and bacon and a flaky pie dough? They are delicious. Feel free to serve them with a side of maybe some sour vegetable like sauerkrauts, or maybe just cut peppers or something like that. Again, they're great for a party, and they can also be saved in the refrigerator for a few days. That's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Again, I will link in the description below to the printable recipe and the step-by-step picture tutorial on the blog, and I will see you again in the next video. Thank you.